Okay, this is Chris Martin with my dollars and cents mini unit presentation. I want you to check this out here. Design process I used was reverse mapping. I took the concept of working with money, wanted to make sure that kids learned how to use dollars and cents when they're using their money. So what I did was reverse map this. Basically, I wanted that big concept overarching um, money, whether it's the dollar up, which we're going to use. We're going to talk about that, as well as how to use coins and how to receive proper change and story to go along with it. So the Common Core state standards that went along with this is the one you see before you here today: measurement and data, working with time and money. No surprise given what I was just talking about. The standards for the mathematical practice were constructing viable arguments and critique the reasoning of others. There are going to be some points in here where they're going to discuss what the best path is to do certain things, and that's what I wanted to use for that. Also, make sense of problems and persevere in solving them. Obviously, when you're working with money, you're going to be sent a number of numbers, and you need to be able to construct those numbers in a certain way to pay properly and understand what you're going to be receiving in return in change, and reason abstractly and quantitatively. There are different options for how to receive change or how to create money in your hand in order to hand it in and buy something. And that's really what the big idea is. So we started off, first lesson would be dollars and cents, financial responsibility. We want to read the Berenstein Bears Dollars and Cents. This book does a great job of providing negative examples of how not to work with your money. And sometimes the positive examples are great, but it's also one of those things where it can be beneficial if you ask them to understand how some of the bad behaviors are working, right? It also introduces the idea of an allowance. Um, I don't know a lot of kids these days if they are receiving allowances, how that's working, but I wanted everyone to be level set. So this book discusses allowance and learning responsibility, and the foundation for the unit is based on the concepts here. Um, One of the things that we're discussing in this is what they would do in these situations, what they would do if they received an allowance, and compare their experiences and their thoughts with what they're seeing here. So, the next lesson was our dollar up lesson. There's a video that's attached to this that is not included here, but the video itself discusses the best practices and how to use a dollar up method, which would be cover up the change in a given cost. So for the first one here, where it says the Takis, which is something that students really love these days, used to be Flamin' Hot Cheetos in my day. $2.29. You cover up the 29 cents, you have $2. And you want to hand them $3. So you just 2 plus 1 is 3. Next one is 6.49. Cover up the 49. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7.75. Same thing. You're going up to 8. 9.95 puts you up to 10. Now the last one is a little confusing because of all the numbers, or it can be at least. So when they're rounding up, they might want to round up to 600, which isn't what we want them to do, but it is something that we want them to be aware of. So something like that would be 589. You give them 591, and then you go from there. Okay. Next lesson after that is dollars and cents, learning the value of coin currency. What they will have is manipulatives, whether they're digital or in their hand. I prefer to have them in the hand. And try to find out how to make these values. 50 cents, 2 quarters, right? Or 5 dimes or 10 nickels. There's a different way that you can do this. And throughout the lessons, they'll be challenged with not only finding the correct change, but also given opportunities to use specific change that they have available and make that work for a purchase. So they don't have to have the perfect amount that's the most ideal, that they get to do it more than one way. And putting it all up all together, using dollar up strategies, using coin currency, and the formal assessment is putting all of this stuff together. And that's really what we're doing here. Formal assessment is just taking each of the other lessons, putting them together, and making a purchase with dollar up, using the coin currency to get the correct change. And there's a formal assessment to see how much they actually learned. Thank you so much.